RVPs for thinking about me to come out here and talk to a great group of winners that are ready to go to the next level, that I think is ready to take over Texas. Keyword, I think. I don't hear anybody making noise like that. So, and your recognition is exciting, it really is. There's so many people clapping. I was just wondering, though, do people that like clapping, they like, you know, running around and they come on stage and get recognized too? You got some great clappers in here, but it's kind of like those that go to the gym free run and they only work upper body and not lower body. So you guys got to make the decision that you're not just going to be clappers at the next meeting, you're actually going to be running around too. Work both sides. Work both sides. I'm going to be really slow all the time, but not down low. Come on now, y'all. I'm so fired up to be here. I call myself Brandon Reed, from Walmart to Wall Street, from Broke to Balenciaga, from food stamps to Farrakhan. I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to talk to you guys about why I say those things. My journey in Primerica really started here in Houston. And, you know, for those who've been around for some time now, you probably remember me running through these Houston streets, baggy clothes. I remember I used to have to go to Marshall's to buy those one suits that fit in the box, one size fits all. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Some people that are senior reps, you might know what I'm talking about, right? So before I begin, I want to tell a joke. I like telling jokes. What do you call somebody with nobody and no nose? Nobody knows. All right, I'm sorry. I just had to keep things off like that. Let's go and get things started. So I got started in Primerica when I was 18 years old. So any 18-year-olds in the room or any teenagers? A few of them? Okay, gotcha. So that's when my journey began. Now, it wasn't my choice. I did not choose to be in Primerica. My dad needed recruit credit. He was probably going for a trip, I don't know, but he brought me into business because the IBA, he paid for it. Now, if he said that I had to pay for it, I probably would have said I need to think about it, Russ. I'm just saying. I probably would have said I got to think about it, let me do some research. But it was free for me, so I got involved. But the problem with that, I did not take it serious. So really coming to this business, it was just there, you know. It's kind of like you guys ever, you know, lost your keys, and you're running around the room searching for them, throwing up the mattress, looking between the crevices of the couch, going through your pants pockets, spending hours, and you can't find your keys, and you just sit back and pat your pockets, and they're right there the whole time. You see, that's what Primerica was for me. I was seeking and searching other opportunities. I used to literally research, you know, 6-figure positions with no college degree because I dropped out of college. I literally used to do that in air traffic control. Always came up. I don't know why. I ain't doing that. So the thing is, I said, you know what, I need to take this Primerica thing serious because, see, when you're 18, 19, maybe 20, money is just a luxury. It's not really a necessity because you might still be living home with your parents. So you don't really have a huge need to make money. That was me. It was just a luxury. Well then, I found myself, now me pregnant, my girlfriend right now, she got pregnant, and money started to become a survival tool. Anybody can relate? Money's a survival tool. You gotta make money to get some stuff done. See, that's what it became. So I started to realize that I had to get things going. I came to Houston with my dad. He moved out here in 2011, 2012. He was tired of his day shop in Dallas. They weren't moving. And my dad's the type, he went from Kansas, I think he got his watch in Kansas way back in the day. And he moved to Texas not knowing anybody. Not one person. He knew one person and the guy didn't join. It's funny for him, the guy just joined like 4 months ago. And shot the district, I mean, he's running now. But the thing is, my dad, he moved to Dallas not knowing one person, and within 2 years, he went over $100,000 in income. Now, see, me and Russ were talking about it earlier. We said, see, nowadays, we got the COVID 6-figure income. Nothing against y'all. Nothing against the COVID 6-figure income. But things was a lot harder before Zoom. I remember having to drive around in this Houston traffic. Y'all don't got to worry about that now, right? But the thing is, 100,000 back then in the early 2000s was hard. Nowadays, anybody's popping up. I think my daughter who's 8 may get the ring next week. I don't know. See, the thing is, the type of risk he took to go out there, moving his family from Kansas to Texas, not knowing anybody, went over $100 grand, building his business with strangers, and then he said he's going to go to Houston and do it again. I said, I want to be a part of that. Now, prior to that, I knew nothing about Primerica really. I didn't know what I was doing, never been in the field, none of that stuff. So I went out there expecting to get field training for him. He just threw me out saying, just go to the malls and get 10 eggs a day. That's what he told me, just go get 10 eggs a day, 10 eggs a day, because I didn't know anybody. So that's what I was doing, unconfident, with the Walmart suits on, the Marshall suits on, that couldn't fit me well, and skinny. I was so skinny, I couldn't get preferred rates. Crazy. I literally just had to go back to try to get, that preferred plus. So the thing is, I came to Houston very unseasoned, a rookie, and I struggled. See, if you can't go to the next slide, not that one, but that one, I do want you guys, follow me on Instagram. This is the first rule. If you want to be successful, go follow me on Instagram. Now, real talk, I got some great nuggets on there, y'all. Y'all just don't know. I got a YouTube show, y'all. See, the thing about me, I love pouring into people whether I override them or not. I do social media trainings for the entire company where I have hundreds of people jump on and they're just learning how I build 70% of my business on social media. I do other types of boot camps where I bring people in just to get into my mindset because I just want to see people win. Because honestly, indirectly, I do override everybody because I got a lot of primary stuff. So I override all y'all in the room indirectly. So I want to see you guys win so my stock can go up. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you guys do that. But the next one. What was that? Well, I think I might not show that. So we ain't gonna worry about that right now. Just keep it there. But my first 5 years, and it may show up somewhere later, but I'm gonna talk about this. My first 5 years in Primerica, from 18 to 22, 23, Primerica paid me a whopping $17,000. I'm not talking about average, I'm talking about over those 5 years. See, most of y'all in the room would quit. You would have thrown the towel. You would have said, nah, this ain't for me. I'm not getting rich yet. I'm just go back to my $10 an hour job, right? People are making fun of me. Things are moving the way I want it to move. Listen, I'm just throwing the towel. See, the problem is you think this is a get rich quick thing. You think that you're coming into a career where you're supposed to get paid hourly or salary, which is keywords for keeping you broke. You don't understand. You're here to build something. But before you can build, you got to remove. And for a lot of you, what you got to remove is weakness. You got to remove excuses. You got to remove the self, the you that's only worth, according to society, $10 an hour. You got to remove all these things. You can't expect to make big money if you're not willing to remove the old you. You got to change who you currently are, because who you currently are is whatever your career is. They trained you for that. Mentally, so they teach you the things that employees are supposed to know, not wealthy people. The working class is not designed to get wealthy. There's a reason for that. They like 97% of the population fighting for 3% of the pie, while the 3%ers have access to 97%. They like that game. So they don't want people to be a part of that to mess up those ratios. So that's why the college system is designed to teach us to be employees. That's why our environment is designed to teach us how to be normal, be average. You see, so many people want to be cool and not rich. I don't understand it. So many people want to be cool. A lot of you guys in this room, you want to be cool. You walking around all swag. You're trying to be cool, but you don't want to be rich because they don't go hand in hand. You can't be cool and rich. All the kids that I knew from high school that were cool, they broke them. One of them was even on the side of the road with a sign on it. It was my best friend. He didn't want to join me. But yet years later, he was on the sign homeless. I think he was scamming people because he did that in high school. But still, weird is rich. You guys got to understand that. So first 5 years, I struggled, but the reason why is because I had to remove my mindset. I had to change my inner self that was forcing myself to think I was only worth $17,000 over a 5-year period. First 5 years, 17 grand. The last 5 years, Primerica paid me over $1.1 million. And I'm going to talk to you about, and you don't have to clap yet, I want to talk this because the thing is I say that because I'm going to talk to you about how that came about. I'm going to talk about the mental work and the physical work that's required for everybody in this room to go to the next level. So hit me. All right, we can skip through that stuff. That's cute stuff. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So that shows you the first 5 from 2000, I was counting 2009, 2010 to 2014, $17,000 in income. That stops in 2018. But if we add on the last 2 years, the accumulated income is well over $1.1 million, not including stock. So I'm going to talk about what changed, because the only Primerica didn't change. A lot of us wait for thinking Primerica's new products is going to get better, Carlos. That ain't going to do it. You got to change. So I'm going to talk about what changed up here for that to change up there. So this is the next one. Transformation. See, that's the knuckleheads I used to hang around with. You know, not the last one, right then. We're like, I was 18, 16, no part of knucklehead. But that was the old me. I had to remove all that. See, I thought I was cool. I don't know what I was doing. I thought I was cool. You know, sagging. See, that's the cool branding, y'all. The cool branding was broke. See, just because I'm a second generation, nothing against my dad, but I was never given anything. I was on food stamps. nearly on unemployment. I literally had to go to get a payday loan with like 50% interest just so I wouldn't be homeless. But my dad said, hey, we moved into a new house, we ain't got room for you, you gotta go figure it out. And I'm glad he did it. When I was in Houston, let me talk about Houston, y'all. Let me talk about Houston. When I was in Houston, you know, I was like 20 years old. Guys, you remember the days, right? So it's crazy. We were like young OGs in the game, right? We're not even 30 yet, but we're like 10 years in the game. So the thing is, when I was in Houston, I was struggling. 10 days a day, grinding, making 40, 50 calls. And during that time frame, you think, man, okay, you probably had some decent numbers. If you don't remember on that one page, it said 1 year, it was 2012, I made $100. That was in Houston. So my time from Houston, remember the days from 7 months in Houston, now I was here, I made $100. $100. I had to borrow money. I had to go work at Sam's Club over in Stafford. You guys know that one in Stafford. I had to go work there. My girlfriend was living out here in Houston at the time, so I had to go sneak over her house for pizza pockets and corn dogs. That's why I was so skinny. Living off Shipley donuts and 99-cent Jack in the Box tacos. I remember how life was tough. So I want you guys to understand. I understand what you're going through. Life might be tough, but this fight is going to be worth it. Because I made the decision to transform from all these things right here. See, what I first did, I started to change my environment. So I started to get around winners, just like you guys are doing in this room. So I guarantee you, Casey's not hanging around with people that are on welfare, do you? Right? You may help, I don't know, man, with a little money. I don't know, but he's not hanging around with them. He's not allowing them in his mind right here, right? So you got to ask yourself, this is where he's saying, you hang around 9 more people, you're going to be 10. So you got to identify who is around me, because whether it's consciously or subconsciously, they're getting into your mind. Well, I still, you know, it's kind of like these rappers. You know, you got the rappers that are the Jay-Z's that get out the hood. Then you got the rappers that say, oh, I want to stay in the hood. And what happens? The hood brings them down. That's why the polished, they get out the hood. See, that's what we have to do. We have to get out of our environment that's holding us back from greatness. See, I also changed the type of cars I was taking pictures in front of it. See, I had an elevator. And then me and my wife, we took better pictures. I don't know what was going on there. We were young. We started to elevator like it. So, transformation, we got to make the decision to transform. Hit the next one. So that's where I lived. That's not 2 years ago. So this is old. This is probably about 4 years ago. That's where I used to live. 800 square foot. I mean, it's just crazy thinking about how my life used to be when I was living my life through fears and excuses. Like many of us in this room may be living our life through fears and excuses. And that's what it afforded me. But when I made a change, just this past November, built one of my homes. So I actually have an international Airbnb company, so I'm building a house out in Dominican. But that's the house that me and my wife stay in. Me and my wife, my kids, 2 daughters, and a son now. So it's crazy how to go from there to there. $600,000 home, like it's in Texas. In the other states, it's like $1 million home. 4,500 square feet. It's gorgeous. Hit it again. These are the cars that me and my wife drives. I have an Audi R5 custom edition. I have a Tesla. My wife has a Q7. So these are the types of things that change when you make the decision to change. Hit it? So let's talk about the 5 rules of entrepreneurship. Because a lot of us, we think we're entrepreneurs in here. We think just because we filled out an IBA, we're entrepreneurs and not. Some of us are entrepreneurs. Remember when 50 Cent had the Wayne? See, some of us in this room are entrepreneurs. The ones that are scrolling up on their phone, not taking notes, not listening, entrepreneur. The one that's going to the bathroom every 5 minutes, entrepreneur. The one that's going to leave this meeting just to go home and go watch Netflix versus study your notes, watch some POL videos, entrepreneur. So let's talk about the 5 rules of entrepreneurship. Rule number 1, I think when going into entrepreneurship, the most important thing you got to focus on doing is you got to have money saved. See, this is something I created. A guy told me I want to learn how to go full-time. So I said, these are my 5 rules of going full-time as an entrepreneur. For those that want to go full-time in the room, anybody? Not incorrect. I'm not talking about full-time, F-O-O-L. That puts me those in 2 of those. Yeah, that's full. I'm not talking about full-time, I'm talking about full-time. So have enough money saved. You do not want to work out of desperation, but instead inspiration. What I mean by that? Desperation, man. I got to get like that, man. I know this person just had cancer 2 years ago, but I don't send it the regular way. No COD. That's desperation. You got to get that check because you got the car note coming up. So you want to work your business out of inspiration. Rule number 1, you want to have money saved. Rule number 2, reduce expenses. financial expenses and time expenses. See, a lot of us are wasting, not just wasting money on all these automatic. I always tell people, if you truly want to go full time, you got to cut out a lot of those automatic subscriptions and things like that. Cut that stuff out. You got to live well below your means. But also, you got to cut out the time expenses. Playing basketball on the weekdays when you should be in the field, playing video games. I'm only talking to the entrepreneurs, not the entrepreneurs. The entrepreneurs, you can plug your ears. I'm talking to the entrepreneurs. You got to reduce financial expenses and time expenses. Number 3, understand the work ethic required of an entrepreneur. There is no 9 to 6 in entrepreneurship. There's no, hey, it's 5 o'clock, I think I'm going to leave the office now. Well, did you get the results that you sought after? Extended lunch breaks. No going to, while you're eating lunch, watching Netflix, or going to a bar and being there for 2 hours, not talking to nobody. Because, I'm free, I'm a businessman, I can do what I want. Babysitting. A lot of times we go full time, we think we can now watch the kids. Anybody ever had that people call me, hey, can you watch my little one? Or the next one being a taxi, hey, can you pick me up from the airport? Can you do this? Can you do that? See, no. That's not what entrepreneurs do. You got to burn the midnight oil. You got to grind and get the job done. Watching TV or TikTok during business hours. I know y'all didn't watch TikTok during business hours. I know y'all do it though. Got to cut it out. Because in business, every minute matters. I'm just telling you guys how to make 6 figures and build $1 million net worth. That's what I'm telling you. If you don't want that, you don't have to listen. But I'm just being real. The thing that we talked about earlier, he says I'm blunt. I keep it real. There's no sugarcoating. I'm not here to do no stage talk. I don't think Fremont flew me out here to give you guys some rah-rah stuff. I don't do the rah-rah stuff. I keep it real. If you want to get big, these are the things that's required. If you want to stay small, rule number 4. Focus on IPA. Income producing activity. See, I think what most people fail to have is standards in their business. Standards in their work ethic. Standards in the amount of prospects they get on a daily basis, standards on the phone calls, the appointments set. You got to have standards. So now you know, okay, tomorrow Saturday, this is what my goals are, the activity that needs to be done for me to have a fulfilled work day. One of my last jobs I had before I was fired, I was a telemarketer, and I had to make 200 calls a day to gas stations trying to sell them $500,000 software. This was like back in 2014. And I had a standard, and if I didn't hit that standard, I got in trouble. I got recognized, and not like how y'all get recognized. Just being real. And so many times it happens, I'm working my primary business while at the job. They let me go, they fired me, and I said, I'm never going back to a job. I collected that unemployment, just allowed me to smile a little bit, and I went on a grind. I went on an aggressive grind where I never had to go work a job, and I haven't had a job in over 7 years. So you got to have standards. See, many of us, let's say this week, you have a standard of how many prospects you need on a weekly basis. You have a standard on how many phone calls, how many appointments set. Now let's talk about even deeper activity. Hit for me. Now let's talk about daily focus of things you got to get done. These are activity goals, but let's talk about results-driven goals. You see, and Miguel Illich did an amazing job when he broke it down years ago, but he talked about every day you should focus on 1 IBA, 1 life path. But I added a few more things to it. If you don't get those things done, get 5 referrals. Make 20 phone calls. Go get 10 prospects. See, every single day, you should be focused on accomplishing those 5 things. The first 2 is not really in your control, unless you're just a beast of a clothes like the boy KT. Everybody not going to be a beast like him. So you can control getting 5 referrals. You can control making 20 phone calls. You can control getting 10 prospects. No excuses. Doing these things 7 days a week until you get your business jump-started. When is jump-starting your business? When you start jumping into recruiting. That's when you get your business jump-started. Until then, you got to be focused on this 7 days a week. Rule number 5. Oh, this goes into rule number 4, so I go into this. So this just talks about choosing your level. Identify what you want to be. You want to be a bench player? Well, don't do nothing. Just sit on the bench, keep clapping. Keep working your upper body strength. And have chicken legs if you're not running across the stage. Number 2, role player. Go get 1 recruit a month. Be a role player. 1 recruit a month. A starter, 2 to 3 recruits a month, and a star player, 3 to 5 reps. Identify where you want to play it. Next one. Creating activity. This is good. This is creating activity. So let's talk about it. Up there, for those that can't see it, because they decided to sit way in the back, I don't know why, but hey. So prospecting. Next after that, it says slow, it says steady, and it says massive. So this is the type of activity if you want to have slow growth, steady growth, or massive growth. If you're in the cold market, 1 name a day, you're going to have some slow growth. If you want to have some steady growth, go get 3 names a day. If you want to have massive growth, go get 10 names a day. If you're in the warm market, go get 5 names. Go make 5. In your warm market or grow your warm market, 5 names. If you want steady growth, 10 names. And if you want massive growth, 25 names. So this is referring to when you recruit somebody and you get their list. If you're getting 5 names from their list, you're going to have some slow growth. But if you get 25 plus names from their top 25 list, because some of us, we let people give us 7 names and that's it. What are we going to do with that? A list is designed to build a district. I can't build a district with 7 names. You should bring some more to the table. You might not qualify to come work with me. I'm not just working with anybody. And that's how we got to think. Social media, rarely post, a few interactions, slow growth. Steady growth, frequent posts, daily interaction. If you want massive growth on social media, multiple posts a day, and 10 plus interactions. Interactions, reaching out to people, commenting on people's posts, going in their inbox, asking if they keep their career opportunities open. See, these are the things to do to have massive growth. Referrals, rarely ask. See, every time somebody closes a light app, the first thing I call and ask is how many referrals did you get? Because I want to know if you use one app to lead you to more. If you want steady growth, 1 to 10 each appointment, massive growth, 10 plus. 10 plus referrals each appointment. See, at the bottom, slow growth, RVP never. Unless your RVP has to go SVP and they just throw you out because they need that third one. Y'all know what's up there? I didn't do that. So steady growth, RVP in 2 years. And then massive growth, RVP in 12 months or sooner. I promoted my first RVP in 7 months. $100,000 earner, 27 years old. So he followed these steps. He literally, from the day he filled out his IBA, 7 months he was regional vice president. 6 months after that, making $100,000 a year. Then the next one. I think the next one's rule number 5. There we go. Rule number 5, my favorite one. Be your own worst boss. You got the right thing. What do you mean your own worst boss? You see, a lot of us, when we have these careers, we like the bosses that are easy on us. They let us come in late. We consider those good bosses. The ones that get on to us because we're late, the ones that get on to us because we're not working hard, we consider them, I don't like my boss. I hate my boss. He's the worst boss. But that's the type of boss you need to be on yourself. Because in business, we don't have a boss. Well, technically we do. You want to know what your boss is in business? It's your desire. Your desire is your boss in business. The higher the desire, the harder you're going to be on yourself. So you have to be your own worst boss if you want to be successful. Don't allow yourself to have 2-hour lunch breaks. Don't allow yourself to sleep in. Don't allow yourself off the hook if you only got 9 names today and the goal was 10 eyes, okay, you better go through the Walmart aisles and buy something. See, it's all about creating a standard of consistency in the mind. The only thing that separates the good from the great is consistency. Next one. So let's talk about the building fundamentals now. Now that you guys know the rules of entrepreneurship, let's talk about the building fundamentals. So this is my 3 P's of business. The 3 P's of business. You know, Marcus Lemonis, he has a show called The Profit. He has 3 P's of business. And I said, you know, here in Primerica, we have 3 P's. And these are the 3 P's. Prospecting, process, and promoting. Those are the 3 P's in business. If you master those 3 fundamentals, prospecting, processing, and promoting, you're going to get very big in this business. Primerica is a very simple business. It really is. As long as you make it simple by mastering fundamentals. Would you guys agree for LeBron James, basketball is pretty easy? Because he mastered fundamentals. Besides shooting free throws, I'm a Lakers fan, and he got to work on free throws, y'all. So the thing is, we got to become fundamentally sound. You want to free myself, man, I got to work on your prospecting. The same way I just talked about LeBron James. Yeah, I got to work on your clothes, man. I got to work on overcoming objections. Get fundamentally sound. Get the next one for me. We're going to talk about prospecting. I'm going to reach this because I think you guys know prospect. But just the different areas of prospecting, I prefer a lot of things to sports. So we got the free agency market, which is you're identifying your top 10 list, or top 25 list, or 10, you know. But it's identifying your inner market. See, when you think about free agents in sports, there are people that you're familiar with. You've seen them play before. You see what they're capable of. So when you want a free agency, you know who you want. So your list, your market, by the way, for those that say, well, I don't have to more market, you're lying. And if you don't have a warm market, that means you're not meeting the people. See, if you go redo a top 25 list today, even the one in the front row, it should be a brand new 25 people because you have met people over the past few years. And if you haven't, that means you ain't really working your business. Business is all about networking and connecting. That's what it's all about. So identifying your home market, yada yada, family, friends, you guys know that stuff. Simple. Let's go to the next one. Player scouting. You see, there's some times where the coaches got to go out and look for talent. Because maybe there's nothing in the free agent market, or they got to go check out some college prospects, whatever it may be. I call that us going out and cold market prospecting. Or I like to say, because a lot of times when people say cold market prospecting, they think negative for some reason. Because cold, I don't know. So the thing is, all it is to me is creating a new warm market. It's just all the cold market is creating a new warm market. That's what I go to the cold. I don't go to the cold to just give strangers business cards. I go to the cold to create a new warm market. So you should never run out of warm markets. Number 3, player trading, referrals. Referrals are the lifeblood of the business. The goal is 3 to 10 referrals from each appointment. The $1 million question is, who do you know? Now you got to get creative with getting referrals, because if you ask people who do you know, they're going to say, oh, I got to think about it. Why? Because they're not thinking about life insurance. They go to their friends before the appointment. Hey, you guys want to look at some life insurance? They're not thinking about that. So if you ask somebody, who do you know, they're going to say, I got to get back to you on that. So that's why you got to have strategies like beneficiary certificates, linking. You know, a lot of times I'm sitting with somebody, I'm sitting with case, hey, you got a brother, married, kids, I jot down the name. Really? You think they would see value in this information? Perfect. What's their number? And don't look at them. When you ask the number, look down with the pen. Expectations. You're expecting them to give the number. If you're looking at them, you're like, hoping, will you give it to me, please? As soon as I ask, I'm looking down, ready to write. Boom, got a referral. Okay, you have any other siblings? Okay, your parents are still together? How old are they? Okay, perfect. What's their, would you see they get value from this information? Okay, great. What's their contact number? See, that's the way I get referrals. Or when somebody puts a beneficiary down, let's say Carlos puts down a sister as a beneficiary, they call it, your sister married, kids, really? Okay, hey, real quick, we have an issue going on with beneficiary. You know, you guys may have heard before the whole beneficiary certificate spill. You know, companies are not paying out their claims because beneficiaries aren't filing claims. We don't want that to happen with you. So I need to get your sister's contact information so I can call her and let her know that she's a beneficiary on the policy. I'm not going to disclose any private information, but I just want her to know how to contact me if something were to happen. Boom, got their number. After I'm done going through that, I'm asked, by the way, any chance, I was able to help Carlos out tremendously with his family's plan. Who's working with you on building you a wealth strategy? I don't use life insurance, I use wealth strategy. Why? Because it's things people never heard of. I like to use the word wealth strategy. You got somebody working with you on building your wealth strategy? Because I tell people all the time, life insurance and investments are tools to create millionaires. I actually have a slogan. I help create millionaires through life insurance and investments. How, Brandon, this is how. See, I got a lot of life insurance. I got like $5 million of life insurance. And then my investments are set up where it'll be well over $5 million. So whether I die today or I die 10 years from now, I'm leaving this world a millionaire. Guaranteed. It's going to happen. Unless I just forget to pay my premium. But hopefully that'll happen, right? So I create, so with me teaching my clients that same philosophy, whether they want to get a million or not, I just tell them I create 6-figure income earners with life insurance investments. The whole point is, I help people build wealth through the strategies we teach. So when I was calling Carlos' sister, I'm letting her know those things. So because if I say you have life insurance, all right, you got it. Do you have anybody working with you on a wealth strategy? What is that? You got about 5 minutes? Boom. Because people don't hear about these things. I'm giving y'all some nuggets. Where the fire at, man? I need some fire. So in the professional prospect, this is where I did a lot of great work in the professional market because I wanted people that have standards, people that understand business. So networking events with different types of professionals. But let's move past there. And let's talk about processing. Because the prospecting is pretty simple for most of us in this room. Where we fail is with the processing. Taking a brand new recruit and taking them through an assembly line to help them become a district leader. So, the starter plan, top 25 lists. This is the starter plan. This is your starter plan for them. Top 25 lists, setting up 8 appointments, 3 by 3 within the first 15 days. I move quick. I don't give them no 30 days. If we give them 30 days, they're going to wait till day 25. Game plan. We're going to recruit directs, build teams, and develop field trainers. That's the starter plan. That's the game plan. Next. So, processing to maximize a market. See, if you get this down, your business will explode. Because take a look at this. When you get a brand new recruit, you get the top 25, and then you qualify the top 10 of 4 through 6 pointers. You see, what happens is when you get that top 10, the game plan is to get 3 direct recruits and generate 6 clients. See, once you do that, those 3 direct recruits do their top 25 list. That's going to be 75 name lists, 30 top 10. That's going to lead you to 9 recruits and 18 clients. And out of 9 recruits, you go in and churn that, and you keep the process going and going. Out of 9 recruits, 9 times 25, that's like 225 names. And out of 225 names, you're going to get 27 recruits, 54 clients. And out of 27 recruits, 27 times 25, I'll let somebody else do the math, I don't feel like doing it. That's going to give you 81 recruits and 162 clients, and it keeps going and going. So for those that don't like cold market prospecting, do what I did. I was on this plan. I did not like talking to 6 people in the corner. You got to do it in the beginning. But guess what? I decided to build my way out of it. I haven't had a cold market prospect in years. I do it for fun, just to test my skills. Remember, like from old basketball players that join the Big Three just to test their skills? I test my skills every now and then. Later, like, what are they talking about? So, processing to maximize the market. Dig it. So let's talk about what it looks like when doing that. See, it starts with 3 by 3. You go get 3 by 3, 3 directs. What are we going to focus with on those 3 directs? This is the brand new person. They do that 3 by 3 and they go district. What are we going to focus on with those 3 directs? Anybody want to give us? Anybody? Boom. Getting them 3. We're going to focus on driving them to district because why? They want to do the same thing. Hit me. So building the district because they're going to get $1,000 plus in bonus money, 100% pay raise, and they're going to be trained. You see, it's a lot more beneficial if I call up my auntie and say, hey, auntie, I need to sit down with you. I just helped out, Aunt Joe. They had a whole life policy. I gave them twice as much coverage, saving $100. My trainer put $100 in a mutual fund. I didn't talk to you. Versus somebody be calling, because I never did no training, saying, hey, auntie, I want to sit down and talk to you about life insurance. Which one do you think is going to book a more solid appointment? The one that has experience and past results, not the one that doesn't have anything wrong. So that's why it's so important to get people trained, and that's what I explain to people. So we do that, boom, hit it. So guess what? Boom, they did their 3. Did it again. One more time. Boom. So that's 9 new people to train. You go train those 9 people, they each do their 3 by 3, and the numbers should show up on here. Hit it again. Boom, there we go. So the first 3 that you train as a district, you recruited 3. Do you guys understand we get paid to build districts? That's what our job, my job description is to build district leaders. That's all I do for a living. I just build districts. If I need to go pay a bill, let me go recruit and build a district. If I want to go and buy something nice, recruit and build a district. Everything is centered around building districts. So the first good district you built, those 3 people, he put you in front of 3,000 in production. They did their 3 recruits. They got $1,000 in bonus money. They got 100% pay raise. They got trained, and you made $4,500 building those 3 people districts. Is this business easy? But guess what? They each brought in 3. So now 3 bringing in 3, that's 9. Those 9 people ready to get trained. Hit me. They all go to district. That's $27,000 premium. You wrote all that. $13,500 in income. $13,000. There we go. Let's go. That's a lot of money. That's how you have people that are districts and divisions making big income because they're aggressively recruiting and training, tapping, recruiting and training, tapping, recruiting and training, and keeping the process going. See, many of us who go get recruits, the first thing we want to do is go and sell in that market. Why not go get them the first 3 reps? So you can build something like this. Pivot. So district leaders are the bricks to your empire. One more time. Just going to show you a nice, sexy empire. Boom. District leaders are the bricks to your empire. So this business is all about building district leaders. Now I'm going to talk to you how this correlates for you going RVP for those that want to go RVP. Hit it? All right, so let's talk about RVP in 6 months. Anybody want to be RVP in the next 6 months? So let's talk about, if not sooner, because they can go sooner than that. But for those that need to make it happen in 6 months, and it can be the newest person in the room. This is what it's going to look like. Hit it. You need to go 24 wide in 6 months. Go 24 wide in 6 months. Let's talk about what that looks like. See, 24 wide, what does wide mean? Getting the right recruit. So if you go 24 wide in 6 months, that's 4 directs a month. Let's show you why it has to be 4 directs a month. That was not cute. There. So 4 directs. What happens when you get the first recruit? Boom. UFO. They were abducted by aliens. Anybody had that? They got recruited. The next day they were going abducted by aliens. That's normal. Don't think you did anything wrong. They did something wrong. Ain't nothing on you. God gave you the vision, not them. What happens to the next one?
That's what I heard too.
I've been thinking about it. You got something once to say, you know what, I've been thinking about it. The next one, PFSU. They got lost in the sauce in the class. And they fell out. Or they said, you know what, I'm just focused on my test. They failed and then they quit. But what happened to the fourth one? Fourth one is a stud. The fourth one decided, you know, I'm going to run with this thing. And that fourth one became a district leader. Hit it? So, let's talk about it. So now we understand we got to get 4 directs to find a district. Some of you guys' talent level, you may have to get 5 or 6. And to be honest with you, it's really dependent on your talent and who your standards when prospecting. You see, if you're prospecting down, when I was in Houston, I did $8 hour workers because I had no confidence, so I had to go recruit people with no confidence. That was my mindset. But if you're recruiting up, you're getting managers, doctors, lawyers, people that have standards, people that want to do something big. You may only have to do 2 or 3 directs to build a district. But we're just going to keep the average at 4. So let's talk about what building districts do for you. So, then you get 1 district, keep going until it shows 6 circles up there. That's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, and that's 6. You got 6 districts. Based on the company standard, a district should do 3 by 2,500. Is that correct? 3 times 2,500 times 6, hit it? Oh, it is 8. It's 18 recruits, about 15,000, not including your production. That 3 by 5,000 at the top should be your minimum production. And in doing that, that's 21 by 20. Congratulations, most offices doing 20 by 20 are RVP. Simple as that. Go build you 6 districts. And as long as, see, the things I tell people all the time, the only thing I build out is districts. Districts build themselves to RVPs. We don't build RVPs. The environment builds RVPs. I don't build RVPs. I literally build a district because I do all the work. They got to take themselves to RVP, but I provide them environment, leadership, coaching, but they got to build themselves to RVP. So our job is just to build the districts, get them in an environment that's conducive to help them learn, help them grow, help them see the vision of RVP. And then become RVP. You build that 6 times, 21 by 20,000, that's a minimum. I mean, we got different standards in the rehire. We sit on the bench, it's like dominoes, you know, you don't accept no 5s around here, dominoes, right? It's 10 to get in. It's the same thing you got to write 10,000 person to be a boss. Anybody doing that there? Anybody putting 10 on their pen? Nobody? Okay, we got some. That's why y'all at the front. 21 by 20, let's hit it. So boom, RVP. So let's talk about focus on the next level. Rookie, if you're a rookie in the room, brand new, first event, not licensed, this is what you need to focus on. Showing up, getting licensed, and getting trained. That's what you got to focus on. Showing up, getting licensed, getting trained. If you're a player, you just got your license. You want to show up more, learn the fundamentals, and become a soloist. What's a soloist? That means you can run your own appointments. You can go out there and close the life act. You can go out there and pick up directs. And eventually you start to move into becoming a field trainer, which is, I feel, one of the most prestigious positions in our company. And then an all-star. Don't miss anything. Master the fundamentals and build districts to go RVP. As simple as that. So you have to focus on your next level. Wherever you're at, you got to say, okay, I'm a rookie, I need to be a player now. Okay, I'm a player, it's time to go become an all-star. Well, I'm an all-star, now it's time to go RVP. Identify. Hit it. So let's talk about building a dream team. Build your dream team. See, this is how you want to build your dream team. You want to find players that don't make excuses. Excuses are like buttholes. Everybody out there, they stink. You probably heard that before. And we do not want to find people that make excuses. Because if they make excuses for their legacy, they're going to make excuses for other things. And you don't want that kind of people in your business. But of course, society trains us to make excuses. You know, our parents might say, oh, you don't want to go to that party? Just lie and say you said, you know. You guys ever had that? You know, your parents are lying and they want to do something, or somebody around. See, it's in our minds to make excuses when we don't want to do something. Now we got to take that programming out of our minds, because our brain is just a software package. We got to unload negative information that's designed to keep us broke. We got to get rid of that broke information and upload it with wealth knowledge. Wealth is just mentality, honestly. All wealth is a mentality. Rich is is a physical thing, having a lot of money. Wealth is a mindset with the rich. So, all right, run the play. A lot of people want to run the play. Going to district in 15 days, showing up to everything. Get your players to show up to everything, not missing big events. E, expectations are high. Set high expectations. Hey, attitude, make sure your attitude is always great. We're going to deal with some negative people. But no matter what, always stay positive. Me and Russell talked about it earlier. And then motivating themselves. See, I don't feel that I need to motivate anybody. If I'm motivating you in this room, that's not my objective. I hope to inspire you through my story, but I don't want to motivate you. Because if I'm motivating you, that means when I'm gone, you have no form of motivation. See, the motivation should be your kids. The motivation should be the bank account. The motivation should be your legacy. The motivation should be the fact that you want to retire your parents. The motivation should be the fact that you want to do something special in your life. Team. Train your team to be tough. Expect to win. Act like an RVP. See, when I was in Houston struggling, I was still acting like an RVP. I used to wear my mom's ring. You know, and even when I was working at Walmart, I had my mom's $1,000 ring on. But I was acting like an RVP. And then make money. You guys got to make money. We were in the money industry. There should be no reason for you not to make money in private. We know the statistics. 95 million don't have life insurance. 8 out of 10 have the wrong kind. That's a lot of people. Why are we just playing around with this thing? Let's go make some money. All right, listen. So what I want to leave you guys with is this. So, I love leaving with stories. I like stories with elephants for some reason. I don't know. But there's an elephant, and you guys may have heard it before, the elephant in the road, where a guy was walking through a safari. Y'all were elephants on in the safari? Yeah. Just check to see if y'all paying attention. So, the elephant was in the safari, and he had a rope over him. This elephant was a grown elephant, huge, right? He had a rope on him, and the guy was walking through, and he's like, why is this elephant just tied to a rope, onto a tree or a little stick? Like, why isn't he moving? This elephant is huge. So he went to a trainer and said, well, why is this elephant just tied to a rope? Does he not know he can break free? He says, no. What happens is when they're little and a rope can actually hold them back, they put them on that rope. So in their mind, they're programmed to think that they're always going to be bound by that rope. See, in life, we experience those same things. We go through life because people say, and I want you guys to participate. This is what I want you guys to do. When I say, have you ever this, I want you guys to stand up. If somebody's ever told you this. Has anybody ever told you that you're not smart enough? Stand up. Has anybody ever told you that, you're not fast enough? Has anybody ever told you that you didn't go to the right schools? Has anybody ever told you that you're just not tall enough, you're not good looking enough, whatever it may be? Has anybody ever told you these things? You see, here in America, it's your job to defy the odds. See, everybody in this room is standing. Some people ain't standing, they're lying. Somebody told you one of these things. But we got to make a decision that no matter what's going on in the world, no matter what's trying to be that rope bounding us to our inabilities to build wealth, that we're going to break free. Because this is our time. This is your year. It's time to get big. It's about building